Today with our project Alltrack, we're going to be going over everything that we broke at the Rallycross event. Hopefully it's not too much. We're going to take a look at it. I'm so mad that you deleted the clip. That was perfect.
No, it wasn't.
Whoa, easy. It's about to be another broken thing.
I almost broke the mirror with my elbow.
You almost broke your elbow too.
This side, I am to do some test fitting because we want to make sure that the factory GTI wheels clear these brakes without any spacers. We expect to have questions, and we've already gotten some questions about that. We have a wheel here that was a blemish wheel that we can just throw on there and test fit. Not to be confused with Austin Powers or an Austin Healey. I'm trying to think of other things named Austin.
It's just a Mark 7 wheel.
Just a Mark 7 wheel. If it will clear without spacers. Turns out, fat chance, no way. If you want to have a Mark 7 wheel on a car anyway, you want to have spacers anyway. So there's our 10 mil.
That is true.
Yeah, because they don't really have great offsets anyway. That is a 10 mil, and that is awfully snug. 10 mil is probably going to be the thinnest, although most GTI fitment, which you'd have an Austin with, the flush kits are going to be 15, 20 anyway. So if you had 15 mil spacers, you'd be fine with this, but if you're trying to run it with no spacers, it's not going to work. So air hammers are very dangerous. Don't try this at home, kids. Well, he's doing that. I might as well get this thing scanning.
Oh my god, there's a piece of the cage for the CV.
Hey!
In the under panels.
That was part of the axle.
It was right here.
He's about to make a mess.
Oh yeah.
Scanning 16 modules. Okay. Well,
considering it comes out like that.
It's safe to assume. Let me go grab some more towels.
That looks really good.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to look.
This is a Golf R axle that we purchased as a replacement, hoping that it may be a stronger axle.
They are different part numbers.
They're different part numbers, but it does not appear to be
any different
in a significant way that's visible to the eye. So
without taking the boots off, there's not really going to be an easy way to know.
And we're not doing that.
Look at all that.
Extra goopy in there.
Anything that you see shiny is not supposed to be shiny.
Right now, I'm cleaning up the floor. That's helpful. We need to keep this piece as a memento. We'll keep it.
Make it a necklace?
Oh yeah, I'll make it a Flava Flav clock necklace. I'll actually drill a hole in it, put a clock around it, and I'll wear it. We lost all the balls except for one.
It's running on that stuff, and there's a puddle on the other side where it's coming out of it.
I'm gonna make a huge mess here, so hold up 1 second, because I gotta get rid of all this grease. So this is a cage for the axle. Obviously we exploded the other half of it. It goes all the way around here. Is grooved all the way around, and the balls sit inside of here. And what happens is that it allows this to flex like this, but still continue to drive the car. It flexed and then eventually caused too much flexing, probably due to our driveline angle. So when you have this at a constant angle, let's say something along the lines of this, then it stays there for too long and eventually will cause this thing to blow out. Most likely what happened is actually something more along the lines of this, which you can see would constantly be riding there. And if you had a bad angle, it gets too tight on there like this, and it could cause a lot of tension on the axle, which eventually blew out this cage. So, got a little brake clean. Gas in my lungs there, because the lift on the car, the driveline angle is sharp, and then it's going to create this to be a constant issue when it's at full droop, which happens a lot when we were rallying the car. I didn't lose the wheel stud tool available at shopdap.com. Max was unable to locate it.
Yeah, because you lost it.
Find another one at shopdap.com.
We could definitely buy another one at shopdap.com. If we need another one, I think they have them in stock over at shopdap.com. The problem is the angle is so bad, like the boot almost touches.
That's why you're doing it. I was like, F that shit.
I don't know where that noise is coming from.
Our axle's the best thing. We're not there yet. But
It's touching?
It is touching.
Oh, it is touching. That makes me feel so much better.
All we do is win.
All I do is win no matter what. I actually think I went backwards. All right, you do some wiggling.
I have to wiggle now.
You wiggle now.
I think I went backwards. It moved, but I'm not sure if it was in a positive way.
Eventually.
Hey, we got the start of a thread.
Okay. That's a big deal.
I'm kind of tempted to try it.
No, don't do that.
All right, it's definitely engaged now. Rotate. Stop.
Okay, so now we're gonna test fit our wheel onto this. This is going to be our track wheel of the track setup. For anybody who's not seen this, we know from our comments that probably some portion of people freak out about us ruining this car. So we are going to be doing a track setup as well. So this is kind of a dual purpose car. So this is our track wheel we're gonna be using. You will see it at a later time, but we're just test fitting it to make sure that they clear our TTS brakes. I suspect they will. And they clear handily with no issue at all. The spoke design on these actually allows a load of clearance. So not a problem at all on these wheels.
Seems like it's working. It's still binding just like before.
Are you filming?
Yes, Max.
Look at me.
I don't want to look at you.
Look at
Look
me.
at me with the camera. For everyone who keeps asking where we're jacking it up by, the middle of the subframe.
What about in the rear?
The rear we jack up from the differential.
Look at all these jack stands. We're all jacked up on Mountain Dew shit.
Yep, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I love that.
Goodbye.
All right, now we're over at DAP Repair. We fixed our axle-ish. It's as fixed as it's going to be for now. We're going to jack it up and investigate the Haldex problem. Hopefully the car will fall off the lift and we won't have to deal with this anymore. Or our belly pan.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that's you.
Yeah, everything's your fault.
I mean, I did drive it a lot harder than you did. There's a nice hole in there. And there's some dirt packed in everywhere. Everything looks fine. We got some dirt clods on our...
The dirt clods are probably the worst part at all. The only thing, can you see that shock up top or no? Just that sleeve's covering it probably, right?
I mean, it's not leaking, so...
So the only real concern, everybody's freaking out about us damaging this car, or not everybody. There are some subset of people who are extremely concerned, let's say. Angry might be a word you would use.
Oh, we did break our fender flare.
Oh,
Really?
your grinding didn't appear to do the trick.
Well, it was where it was, and now it is where it is.
We really did a number on these things right here.
That's what I said. It's broken here. And it's like flexed all the way up to
Yeah,
here.
this is a no flex zone
And
too.
look, this is all
Yeah, that's
polished.
yeah. So we may need
And
to.
we've rubbed all the way up to here.
Yeah, well that we knew.
At the very tippy top. And here. So we've basically rubbed everywhere.
Is there anything under here?
Nothing.
Nothing to speak of. I'm not surprised we didn't cake all kinds of dirt inside of here.
Well, half of it's covered.
And even still, all these holes. Swiss cheese for dirt. I'm pretty impressed. So we broke an axle. We rubbed some fenders. This is a testament to how powerful even this composite material is. So we had no damage, and we took it into the course that everybody said was terrifyingly horrible. It had a few ruts in it from water runoff, whatever, because it had rained for a little bit before that. But other than that, it really hadn't been anything to speak of. Right now, Max in the car, he's gonna start it up, and we're gonna see if we can actuate this thing, this all-wheel drive.
Go work on your Miata.
Is it because I'm Asian? I have to work on the Miata? Hey, don't be hating.
The whole lift's shaking.
Oh yeah, you can see, look at the engine.
She's binding?
Yeah, Look at the vibration in the engine. As the wheel turns, the axle's binding. Now I guarantee you if we jack this car up from here, this binding will go away and this engine will not look like this. Now because the length of this axle, it allows that driveline angle to be okay. And you can look at the inner and just look at the way the plant is. You look at this one over here, and you look at the inner there and then the other one holding this wheel now, and you can see that there's no more vibration happening. This axle probably is fine when the car is on the ground, but this is not something that I expect. If we go rally again with this thing and unload that suspension the way we were with it jumping, I would expect we would definitely break another axle. For anybody who's worried about lifting their car, I suspect this is only going to be an issue if you have your car where you unload the suspension completely like this, because once this is on the ground, I can almost assure you it wouldn't bind like this.
There's trim at the bottom here.
Oh, that probably is from their high actually.
Oh, you fixed it.
Fixed it. All right, so while we are trying to figure out now why this thing won't run its actuation test, I think we may have a fluid level problem. So we're gonna check this level, and it's taken some, so I suspect that maybe our level was low. Changing this thing in the parking lot was probably, and we were not level when we did it, so we might have lost a little more fluid than we necessarily anticipated, and we suspected we didn't lose much, but this thing's taken quite a bit. So I suspect we may have just been low. Maybe we had a bad pump as well, but just after the fluid level was a problem. Now we're gonna test drive this thing to see if we indeed do have all-wheel drive now.